Governor Gavin Newsom's bold move to ban masked federal officers in California has ignited a fiery debate over state versus federal authority. But here's where it gets controversial. Can a state really dictate how federal law enforcement operates on its soil? This isn't just about masks. It's about trust, transparency, and the growing divide between California's policies and the Trump administration's immigration enforcement strategies. On Saturday, Newsom signed 5 landmark bills in Los Angeles, positioning them as a shield for vulnerable communities. The centerpiece, the No Secret Police Act, SB 627, mandates that federal and local officers, including ICE agents, must reveal their identities by displaying name tags, badge numbers, and, critically, avoid face coverings while on duty. The law takes effect in January 2026, but federal officials have already fired back. U.S. Attorney Bill Essayli, a Trump appointee, dismissed the legislation as unconstitutional, stating, "Our agents will continue to protect their identities." Sound like a power struggle? You're not alone in thinking that. Senator Scott Wiener, the bill's architect, painted a stark picture. ICE's masked presence is a terror campaign. He argued that anonymity enables abuses of power, citing the Supreme Court's recent ruling allowing immigration stops based on factors like skin color or accent. "It's like a dystopian sci-fi movie," Newsom said, referencing unmarked vehicles and people disappearing without due process. But here's the twist. The Department of Homeland Security labeled the new laws despicable, claiming they endanger officers. Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin accused California of vilifying ICE, comparing critics to those who liken them to the Gestapo. Is that a fair characterization or political theater? The legislation also targets schools and hospitals. Under SB 98 and AB 49, federal agents can't enter campuses without a warrant, and parents must be notified if enforcement activity occurs. SB 81 extends this protection to non-public hospital areas. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass called the bill's legislative resistance against authoritarian tactics, while Trump framed the state's stance as enabling third-world dystopia. Yet, data from DHS shows ICE officers face a 1,000% spike in assaults, a fact Newsom's critics argue the new laws exacerbate. So where does this leave us? California claims it's defending basic freedoms. Federal officials see it as obstruction. And this is the part most people miss. The Supreme Court's ruling on immigration stops already weakened federal oversight, creating a legal gray area. Does Newsom's approach empower communities or set a dangerous precedent? Share your take. Should states have the right to reshape federal law enforcement practices within their borders? And what happens when the federal government pushes back with rhetoric as sharp as its policies? Let's discuss in the comments. The full list of signed bills includes SB 267, prohibits unnecessary face coverings for officers. SB 805, mandates officer identification during duties. AB 49 blocks ICE entry into schools without warrants. SB 81 restricts hospital access for enforcement without judicial orders. SB 98 requires school notifications about ICE presence. This story was reported by Austin Turner, a CBS News Los Angeles web producer, an Inland Empire native with a journalism degree from San Jose State University. Prior to joining CBS in 2025, he covered sports for KTLA, the San Jose Mercury News, and other outlets. Nidia Cavazos also contributed to this report.